Don't miss any content. Don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell.
Hey guys, welcome back to Sahara Football. As usual, I'm your host Selassie. That was BUKOM Banku. You saw there knocking out his German opponent in the first ever foreign fight in the United Kingdom over the weekend. I'm going to give you more details on that. And Kumasi Asante Kotoko vs Accra Hearts game was rained off after heavy rains interrupted proceedings. They made the pitch unplayable and the players had to end it. I brought the news to you yesterday, but a new date probably in the works. And also we are going to see Black Queens took part in a friendly over the weekend at the LWAC Sports Stadium. They thrashed their Togolese counterpart in preparation for the Olympics 2020 qualifier against Kenya later this month. Then Ghana under 23 side, the Black METEORS, we all know they are preparing to face Algeria in the second leg of the qualifiers for the Olympic Game 2020 Olympic Games, and the first leg ended in a 1-1 draw, and the players are headed to Algeria right now. They will play them on Tuesday for a place in the next round of qualifying games. As usual, if you're new to the channel, I advise you to subscribe to this channel and to click on the notification bell to get more updates. So BUKOM Banku, we all know, is the Mayweather of Ghana, as he has been calling himself, his self-proclaimed Mayweather of Ghana boxing. And he over the weekend took part in his first ever international bout and he won in the third round. Yeah, BUKOM Banku made history for Ghana. Popular Ghanaian boxer Brian Kamoko, as he's already known, stopped his opponent Rohat Belget-Tekin to win his first fight outside Ghana. Now BUKOM Banku, as he's affectionately called, dropped the German in round 3 at St. George Hall in Bradford, UK on Saturday night. Banku was billed to fight Ferik Albert, but the Hungarian boxer pulled out at last minute, with organizers replacing him with Belget-Tekin. The self-acclaimed African Mayweather had lost only once to Basti Samir in their bout at the BUKOM Boxing Arena in Ghana. The tough-talking boxer is expected to tour other parts of Europe before returning home. Now, the Ghanaian cruiserweight boxer and the current WBO African champion has promised to establish himself as one of Africa's best boxers before hanging his gloves. So BUKOM Banku there, winning his first ever fight outside the country, outside the shores of Ghana, and doing so with a knockout over his German opponent. And happy for BUKOM Banku, because people usually tend to call him local champion and all that, but he has proven that outside the shores of this country he can win as well. He has only lost one fight, that was against Basti Samir in late 2017, I think, if my date memory serves me well. Late 2017, Basti Samir versus BUKOM Banku was the only fight he had ever lost in his career, and BUKOM Banku, they're winning outside the shores of Ghana, a knockout, a third round knockout, and that was great for him over the weekend. That's what happened with BUKOM Banku. Kudos to him and his team. I move on to my next story. It has to do with the Ghana Black Queens. Yesterday they took on Togo in a friendly in preparation for their game with Kenya later this month. We all know they are preparing for the 2020 Olympic Games, and they won their last round 5-0 on aggregate against Gabon. Now they played Togo over the weekend and the Black Queens were in full force. They thrashed Togo in the friendly 4-1 on Sunday when they faced in the friendly at the LWAC Sports Stadium. Now a brace from Gladys Amphobia and Evelyn Bedu did the magic as the Black Queens registered a commanding victory. Amphobia opened the scoring in the 29th minute before adding her second goal 8 minutes later through a penalty kick. The first half ended 2-0. Hazakes ladies midfielder Evelyn Bedu scored 7 minutes into the second half to stretch the lead for her side. Togo grabbed a goal in the 87th minute through Adinda Akbo before Evelyn Bedu completed her brace in the 90th minute to seal the victory for the Black Queens. The game serves as a preparatory game for the Black Queens as they will face Kenya in their third round of qualifying for the 2020 Olympics, and we'll be there to bring you live pictures as Accra Hearts of Oak, the game that was supposed to take place yesterday, as I brought you here. And the breaking news, I said yesterday that they had postponed the match till a further date, but it looks like Accra Hearts of Oak have another encounter this weekend. Now this weekend, we all know the CAF Champions League and the CAF Confederations Cup are coming back, while Du Sahel in the CAF Champions League and Ash Gold will face RS Berkane of Morocco in the CAF Confederations Cup. Now, Accra Hearts of Oak, after that game, which unfortunately did not come off, the rain was too bad, it was too nasty for them to continue. The pitch wasn't in the best of conditions, I have to be honest with you guys, as you saw in the pictures. And Accra Hearts of Oak and Kumasi Asante Kotoko, unfortunately, will have to set another date to renew their rivalry. Now it looks like Accra Hearts of Oak will play Accra Great Olympics in what they dub as the Homowo Cup. Yeah, Accra, the two great Accra clubs, Olidade versus the Phobians, they will be taking part in the Homowo Cup this Sunday, September 15th. The match is to mark the Homowo Festival, which is celebrated by the Gans in Accra here. Ghana Premier League giants Accra Hearts of Oak will play city rivals Great Olympics in the 2019 Homowo Cup. Now the Rainbow side will come face to face against bitter rivals Great Olympics on Sunday at the Accra Sports Stadium. That's on the 15th of September. Now the encounter promised to be fireworks, as both clubs are determined to snatch the bragging right as the champion of the 2019 edition of the Homowo Cup. The two clubs will also use the encounter to prepare for the upcoming season. So Accra Great Olympics versus Accra Hearts of Oak at the stadium there in Accra Sports Stadium. So back to the President's Cup that was supposed to take place yesterday and it couldn't take place. Now the proposed date by Kujo Fianu, who is the Gauka chairman, is that the two teams will play on 6th and 13th for a replay of the match, considering Kotoko's participation in the CAF Champions League. A meeting today, Gauka is looking at 6th October and 13th October, having in mind Kotoko's CAF competitions engagement and also our sponsors, which is government, and for that matter the Ministry of Youth and Sports. There could be a change of venue if the Baba Yara Sports Stadium will not be available, because the stadium was supposed to be closed for renovations but for Kotoko's participations in Africa. Now if the Baba Yara Stadium won't be available, then Accra is the next venue. Kujo Fianu, who is the president of Gauka, the chairman of Gauka, they're revealing on there that the President's Cup will have a new date, and that date could possibly be 6th and the 13th, one of them, 6th or 13th. They will decide with the clubs depending on Kotoko's actions and Kotoko's performances in Africa and all that. We have to take note of all that. These are the proposed dates by the Galka chairman Kujo Fianu. So as and when we get a confirmed date, we'll let you guys know. So that's the latest there on the President's Cup, which was supposed to take place yesterday, and unfortunately it was rained off. To my final story, and it has to do with the Ghana under 23 side, yeah, the Black Meteors. Now the Black Meteors are going to Algeria to face Algeria in the return leg of the qualifiers for the 2020 Olympic Games. We all know how the first game ended. It ended in a 1-1 draw between both sides. Ghana had 2 penalties, controversial penalties, and it was quite unfortunate. We didn't have the best of games, but the Algerian side, neither did they, and it had to end it up the spoils for both countries. And now the decider will be in Algeria, and hopefully the Ghana Black Meteors can't find a way to get the all-important away goal or possibly win the encounter outright. That's the only way we can make it to the next round of qualifying for the 2020 Olympic Games that will be taking place in Tokyo next year. So the Black Meteors have left for Algeria ahead of Tuesday's African Under-23 Nations qualifier. The team departed for Algiers on Sunday, 2 days after taking on their counterparts in Accra, a game which ended in a 1-1 stalemate. Now Ghana is in a tight position as they need to beat Algeria at the backyard to seal passage due to the Africa Under-23 Cup of Nations to be hosted in Egypt in 2 months' time. Anything short of victory will see the Black Meteors miss out on yet another opportunity to qualify for the 2020 Olympic Games in Tokyo. Now, Ghana Under-23 squad for the trip are Kwame Ba, Kingsley Fobi, Gideon Mensah, Zakaria Busfuseini, Nicholas Opoku, Majid Oshmeru, Yao Yeboah, Osman Bukari, Joseph Painsil, Dauda Mohammed, Bernard Degbete, Joel Famir, William Denchi Habib, Mohammed Isaac Chum, Richmond Ayi, Emmanuel Kujo, and Michael Agbekwonu. These are the players that will be traveling with the coach and that will be traveling into Algeria for that important clash with the Algerians for the Under-23 side, and that will be for the 2020 Olympic Games and for the Under-23 African Cup of Nations that will be taking place in Egypt in 2 months' time. That's in November. So we wish them the best. We hope the Under-23 side make it through to that, and hopefully they can overcome that poor performance they had here in Ghana. Let me know your predictions. How do you think it will end in Algeria? Will Algeria beat Ghana or will Ghana beat Algeria? Let me know your thoughts in the comments box. That's been for today. I've been talking to you about BUKOM Banku's first ever win outside the shores of Ghana. Kudos to Brian Makamoko, popularly known as BUKOM Banku. Accra Hatofo Kumasi Asante Kotoko proposed date 6th October or 13th October. One of them will be settled on, considering Kumasi Asante Kotoko's competition and participation in Africa. And also Under-23 side have left the shores of Ghana for Algeria, where they'll be facing them the 2020 Olympic Games as well. The Black Queens thumped Togo 4-1 in a friendly, and hopefully they can do that as they face Kenya later on this month. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great week and enjoy your day.